Do you think it's better to forgive than not to forgive? Whether you retaliate or not, it's up to you. But do you think it's better to forgive, or do you think it's better to, you learned your lesson from that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, type of deal.
Right. I hate that I'm going to say this, but I feel like it is dependent on what you are forgiving.
Okay, the gravity of the situation.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna let's for this argument for the sake. It's nothing like I killed your sister. My bad. It's very
My bad.
Fair. Okay. Fair.
normal sort of.
You got cheated on.
That's big, man. What are you talking about? First you're talking about clubbing, now you're talking about cheating. What's going on there?
I think, I'm still going to say it depends, because if you're 20 and you get cheated on, you don't have those life experiences and you're just bitter and you hold on to that for 30, until you're 30, and then you can't move forward into any other relationship afterwards because you didn't learn how to forgive that person when they were 20 and didn't know.
Oh my gosh.
Jessica, if you're watching, please comment below. We want to hear the story.
Oh my God.
We want to hear the story.
You called me help.
That's amazing.
There's a defamation lawsuit coming. All right. Sorry, my bad. Go continue.
But yeah, I think in scenarios like that, even if it takes 10 years to forgive, I feel like it would be therapeutic in that it can allow you to move forward to the next step in another relationship. If you're, I'm trying to think of an example of something else that you might not want to forgive, is if it fuels you in that little bit of rage that you're holding on to. If that fuels you into doing something differently, or it's that little reminder that keeps you right in your decision making going forward, then it might be beneficial to just hold on to that. But it's got to be something little, like my boss ate my sandwiches consistently for a month and now I'm no longer making sandwiches. I'm going to remember that, and I'm bringing fish.
So
that'll teach my boss.
when is forgiving become just you're getting exploited because she's gonna get over it. He's gonna get over it. Who cares? They don't hold. Versus a guy who's like, man, I stubbed his toe once and I never heard the end of it. Yeah. Now I know to never touch this guy's shoe. No, for us, sometimes I wonder. I'm very forgiving, and I actually think it works to my disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, it's fool me once, shame
I
on
wish
you.
I was kind of like that. Yeah, but even the fool me once people, they don't just say, here, okay. It's like, listen, this is one, they make a big deal. This is the one time I'm going to let you go. I'm doing a big favor. And then, you do it again. And
that's the trick then. You have to be clear about, I'm going to forgive you this once, but next time.
Actually, have you guys been in situations, where you believe you should have been forgiven, but you haven't been? Are you guys, any of you guys, in a situation where it's I'm not talking to this person, right? It has been years or months, or where you feel like you should have received that, they should have accepted your apology? Not really.
No, I'm forgiving though. But I'm under the mindset, and I think I read it somewhere, is that, we'll go back to relationships where, if you don't forgive somebody, you don't move on. What happens is you end up cutting the other person who didn't cause you to bleed, because you're carrying over that into that new relationship, right? Because again, you're not going in fully vested. You're going with some sort of hesitancy because you're not sure if the same thing's going to happen in this relationship, because you haven't forgiven what happened in your previous relationship. So I can see how that can carry over. So, and again, I've seen that happen with close friends, unfortunately, where, they've treated their current girlfriends very bad.
Okay, yeah.
And they're constantly referring back to what happened in the past, and they can't let go of
that's
the past.
annoying, man.
Right?
They need therapy.
Yeah.
Right?
Better help. Be a sponsor.
Yeah.
But again, you got to hold yourself accountable for that too,
yeah.
right? And know that, okay, you know what? I need to let go of this, right? And what did you learn from it?
Sometimes forgiving the person means letting them go. You have to forget them for your own preservation, in order to move forward, depending on what it is. I have family that I don't have any ill will or anything animosity towards, but I just don't communicate with them as often because of just how I felt they've dealt with me in certain area with certain things, and treated me in a way I didn't think I deserve. I wish them all the best, and I've forgiven that, but I don't need to have you included in my life anymore. So
she's speaking about, mother-in-laws. You guys suck.
Wow. Wow.
Just throw.
I'm just
people
speaking out
under
for all the
bus.
women out there. I know how you guys are. I know how
pictures on the
MILs, they're the worst, aren't they? Yeah, I got you. Unfortunately or fortunately, I feel like I'm a little bit too forgiving. I never burn bridges. Has it worked to my benefit? Well, I'm trying to think over time. I don't feel like I've been exploited. I feel like being forgiving is a good thing. But if I could, again, when I look to people who are more successful, we're just talking business, right? We're trying to keep this Aura podcast. Again, I find the people who are eye for eye, or, you know, just they know when to cut ties and they don't let things linger. I just find they just end up moving farther in life. And the people who are forgiving, they're just always bogged down like anchors on them. They're just always in the same spot. So I don't know.
Well, they say karma catches up to you, but I'm still waiting to see karma catch up to some people.
I don't agree with that either.
I don't agree with
Yeah,
that.
I'd like to see it. In
I want to
action.
see it happen.
Yeah, they look
so
too
maybe,
happy.
Prove it.
Yeah.
They look
So
too
maybe
happy.
I'm not that forgiving because I'm waiting for karma to catch up with you.
Well,
Well, they
came
say
full circle.
they say forgiveness, you know, this is a bioclinic article. They're saying that by being more forgiving and kind of just letting things go leads to healthier relationships, improved mental health, less, all the stuff that they said about sleep, fewer symptoms of depression, lower blood sugar. So basically sleeping and forgiving are equal in terms of health benefits.
Just stay awake always, but be
Yeah.
super forgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
You're fine.
Lower blood pressure, though, I can see that, right? Because
Yeah.
again, it just eats away at you.
Yeah.
But so when you forgive, that goes away? So
Yeah.
someone really did you wrong. And you're like, I forgive you. That's it. It's gone?
Yeah.
Over time.
It has-
Over time, so
it
that's not
can't
the
just be
forgiveness.
the
You guys are
words.
complaining. That's
Goes
just
back to what
time.
she
It's
said,
just
though. It really
time.
depends on the
Yeah.
situation.
So that's not
It
forgiveness.
is
That's just time.
situational.
It's there's so many variables because
It's-
if somebody
well,
does something petty like steal lunches,
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, whatever.
Terrible
But if somebody
example.
does something like I'm in a relationship with somebody, all of a sudden they're like chilling in my bed with my robe on. I don't know if I.
I don't know, man. I just feel like
Somebody stole $30,000 from you or embezzled money.
there is no forgiveness there, man. That's a
Yeah.
lawsuit.
If I'm.
You want to know what's going to relieve stress?
What
When
if
the
somebody
judge orders
owes
my
you?
redemption, my recovery. That's stress relieving.
I think forgiveness is a nice word, but it takes time. And I think only, like they say, time heals all wounds,
Amen.
right? So depending on the severity of the situation, you can, for somebody, your boss eats your turkey sandwich.
Keep going back to that.
That's a
It's
good
a
I
good
thought,
example.
I thought about an episode of Friends. When,
Like always.
Right?
I
Rest in
always
peace,
when
Matthew
Ross,
Perry.
yeah, when Ross's turkey sandwich got eaten while he's a university
That's
professor.
actually
Oh
funny.
yeah, at university. Yeah.
But it depends on what it is and the severity of the situation. So that you could forget and forgive within a couple days. But if it's something where somebody hurt you, stole your money, or lied to you, that's going to take a longer time where it doesn't weigh on you so much, where to the point where you realize, oh, you know what, I'm over this. I've forgiven that person. So I think it's time.
Yeah.
Or is it a
takes
situation-
time.
It's situational and time
yeah.
and learning. Like the boss stealing the sandwich thing, it could be like their partner's leaving them. He or she doesn't know how to cook, and like they need food.
Damn.
And they're not going to communicate that to you. And in 5 years' time, you learn that was the case. You're like, ooh.
You just gave me a new perspective. Forgiveness is the winner. I'll tell you why. You just thought road rage. I have zero road rage, and I actually think like that's why I sleep like a baby. I'm less stressed. I know so many people, if they're driving, I'm on the phone with them, they are going to cuss. They're going to be pissed off. And every day it's the same thing. I'm like, so you're telling me every day just by chance you're with the worst drivers in the world? Every day the worst drivers are on
Well, it
the
depends
road.
on
where
where
they
you're
live.
driving.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
this way you need to think.
Yeah.
Next time someone cuts you off, be like, he just got news that his mom passed away.
Yeah.
He has to go make the funeral arrangements, and that's why he's cutting me off. It's okay, khalas, let it go. That's the type of let it go they gotta have.
I don't know what happens every day to certain people.
Yeah,
It's the same people you see on
just
the road
remember,
every
just
day.
know
Every
you're
day-
having a normal
every day
day.
they're running to a family funeral.
No, and all the people that cut you off, just think of the worst thing what would you do if you were in a crazy scenario, and that's how they are. At the end of the day, you didn't get hit, everyone's safe, you know. I feel like road rage is a waste of time. You gotta forgive. So I'm now on team forgiveness. You gotta forgive.
It takes a while to get over
a lot of
road
hugs when he's done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do any of you guys have siblings?
Yeah.
But I do, my family has dealt with a situation like that.
Yeah. You have siblings? You beef with any of them? You're all on good terms right now?
Now it's not bad.
Oh, okay.
But there's been times where I just cut them. I wouldn't cut them off, but it's almost like a situation where, is this going to be live? Anyway, if they would call
Imagine
me,
you.
I'd only allocate a certain amount of time to talk to them because it just ends up becoming this argument over stupid things. It doesn't need to be that. I'm a peaceful individual, and then I'm not going to allow somebody to trigger me to go back to a person I was in the past. I've moved on. I've grown, right? But again, I always say, you know, with families, blood, but sometimes you need to cut them off. I'm sorry. If they constantly are hurting you and bringing you down, like, you need to.
There's no more forgiveness.
Because
or at least move on.
They're not in your best interest.
Yeah.
Because if they can't respect the way you feel, and you tell them like, listen, you're making me feel this way on a constant basis, and they continue to do this, you're just shooting yourself. You gotta look in the mirror and blame yourself for continuing to try to.
That's so true. That's exploitation. At that point, it's exploitation. You're just being a loser at that point. All right. Well, look. To my brother, thank you for making me lose money on crypto. But
you forgive him.
But I forgive you. I forgive you. Just continue those e-transfers we agreed to. And then we'll take it from there. All right. That was a good. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.